Hello everybody, welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to talk about an opera I wrote. This is just going to be an introductory video. Now this project was so huge, I would love to talk more about this in later videos. There is lots to talk about. Just before I finished my PhD in composition, I got asked to write an opera for Bloomsbury Opera Company, who are based primarily in London. The director of the opera company at the time was writing a libretto and he needed some music for it. So I just finished my PhD in composition when I started writing this opera. My PhD was in what, for now, I'm going to call avant-garde music. The terminology itself is up for debate, and something I do debate a lot in my PhD. It's a massive topic in itself. It does require more discussion than I have time to give you here. I will be digressing somewhat if I do go into it now. So the opera I was commissioned to write was meant to be a prequel to Bernstein's Trouble in Tahiti. Now Bernstein's music is varied. When I interpret it personally, I can hear jazz influences there, as well as aspects of what I might call experimental or avant-garde. Again, these terms need more discussion, which I will be going into later. I'll call it avant-garde for now. So what do I mean by avant-garde? Experimental. Stuff that incorporates dissonance, notes that don't go together, clashes. This is a bit of a contentious topic. So like I keep saying, I'm going to need to make another video about this. Also, when I listen to Bernstein's music, I can hear that it's also very classical and paves the way for more musical type theatre productions that rose to prominence in the years that followed. Now, Bernstein's Trouble in Tahiti is about a couple who have been married for quite some time and they are growing tired of each other. It's essentially about the breakdown of a relationship, but it's not totally sad, it's a comedy too. So bearing this in mind, how was I supposed to write a prequel to it? On a purely musical level, I considered regressing to earlier musical styles. Again, the term style is something I should discuss in another video. When I talk about previous musical styles, I mean the ones that preceded Bernstein's. Perhaps this would make the music sound younger, more naive, something that would musically precede the breakdown of a marriage between two older, more mature people. However, as a composer, this would not have been interesting. My opera was being written after that of Bernstein's and I had to show that in the music. To adhere to an earlier style would be just pastiche. That's not composing to me. I wanted to make it interesting. I'd spent years getting a PhD in composition and I had to honour all that hard work. I also didn't want to waste this amazing opportunity writing pastiche music. As such, if you're thinking about it from the perspective of interpreting Bernstein's opera, just as a listener, compared to his, my opera is harmonically and rhythmically complex in a way that is not obvious unless you have to perform it. It deliberately trips you up. I think this affected the performers when it was premiered. The harmonic and rhythmic nuances didn't come through. I suppose it also didn't help that I wasn't a big enough name. People don't understand your compositional voice, which is fine, but it doesn't help you move out of that emerging composer stage and into having a career. So the opera was performed a couple of times in London. The premiere was an overwhelming experience. It was my first opera. I'd written it. It was funny because when I first turned up, the lighting technician was like, who are you? Can I help you? My friend was like, she's the composer. I think he really enjoyed saying that actually. Overall, the performance from Bloomsbury had impact. There are some amazing moments. I was so touched that so many people had got together and done all these actions that I'd written down on paper. It was a weird sensation to have had such a significant role in a big event like an opera. The musical director was amazing. She was conducting the orchestra behind like a sheet. The lighting was beautiful, the singing was amazing, the singers were very talented. I was in awe actually. And I have to say, they performed Bernstein's Trouble in Tahiti afterwards in the second half with aplomb. It was perfect. So thank you for listening. I'm hoping to talk more about different aspects of this in later videos. I'm going to talk more about my own music and more about this opera because there's a lot to discuss. It's an opera. This has just been an introduction to the opera. I didn't mention this, but my opera is called Pacific Pleasures. This was titled by the librettist. For more information about who's in this opera and all those credits, I've included some links down below and hopefully in this actual video. Check it out because there were some amazing singers involved. They were totally mesmeric to watch. Now, as I said, this video has just been an introduction to the opera. If there's anything you would like me to discuss further or if you have any questions, then please feel free to leave them in the comments down below.